here we are again 6 years later after our first attempt to get Kenwood Campground reopened. This campground has been closed for approximately 20 years is my guess now. I've kind of lost track. It's been closed for a long time. I grew up here in Interlachen, Florida, and I've been to this campground growing up. I loved it. I spent a lot of time here. You used to be able to put your boat out right there where you're camping at and go out fishing, and it was so enjoyable. Today we're going to actually take a little hike down to the campground. We're heading down the road right now, and as you guys seen, there's a big gate with a sign that says road closed, and that's what's been there. This campground, the road has been open a few times whenever they do the drawdowns to allow you to put your boat in out there, but other than that, the campground is closed. So let's take a little hike down there, and I'm going to show you guys around. Where's the entrance, Mike?
Over that hill, maybe?
Oh, there it is. There's the entrance. Blocked off with a nice big old hill. Not that you need that when you have the gate out front that's got it blocked off. Yeah, I talked my buddy Mike into coming down here and walking with me in case I got mauled by a bear or a rogue snake. So Mike, do you remember the last time me and you camped here? Where did we camp at?
I think we camped right here and a couple other times down around the corner, but this was always camp spot one. That was the funnest campsite of all too.
Yeah, right at the entrance. Yeah, I specifically remember our last camping trip. It was actually on this side.
Oh yeah.
We parked right there, and I had a tent, and you parked over here, and you slept in your vehicle with somebody.
Wow.
This is like the main road in, and then there was a bunch of little campsites off to the side. Some of them's growed up. Look at the canopy in here, all this mossy oak, pines. It is absolutely beautiful back here.
It wouldn't take much to clean this place back up and get it back going again.
No, I don't think so either. I think there's already a group of volunteers that have been sitting around ready that would bring bush hogs in here. We've got the some friends at our fire department, our local fire department, that if we needed to do a burn off, we could do that. We've got a lot of resources available to bush hog, clean up, and make this whole campground usable again. Just a matter of the state saying yes to it and saying, here's the key. And there's still some outbuildings here. I believe this one here was the, it had a pump in it. There may have been water here at one time. I'm pretty certain of it. That's an old building. And I know a lot of that stuff is, it's gonna be out of service and not usable. The bathrooms down here, they're probably rotted away. But a lot of that stuff, I mean, we can come up with funding, volunteers to donate. I mean, we can get that stuff going. Another little campsite there. And I would say the size of this campground is probably around 25 acres, 25 acres. And you could probably get 30 campsites in here if we clean it off. I don't remember how many it had before, maybe 20. But I think we could probably get 30 campsites in here. This road goes pretty far, and it actually loops around. It used to. I don't remember exactly.
There's the old bathroom.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we're gonna walk around that way. There's a bathroom through the woods there. I'm surprised we haven't seen any deer. Seen that one armadillo on the way in. And here we are to the end of the loop. This is the back side of the campground, so we're all the way in as far as you can go. There's a gate there. I believe Ooh.
Deer.
A deer or something was making some noise. I believe that gate was the access to the rest of this land that's back here to for firefighting and, you know, to be able to maintain it, which obviously it's not been maintained at all. That almost looks like a regular deer trail or something right through there. Turtle shells.
That was a driving one right there, I think.
Yeah, the best part about this campground was the fact that all of the campsites that were on this side of the loop, the loop we just walked through on the other side over there didn't have water access, but all of these campsites along the water, you could camp and pull your boat right up to the campsite and park it, you know, go out fishing at night or whatever, you know, whatever you do in a campground, and go fishing. And you can kind of see the lake through there. Pretty growed up, but definitely something that we could manage to do is clear off some spots on each of these sites. And I mean, a lot of these sites are still pretty open, surprisingly. I thought they'd be a little more growed up than that. Really just the bush hog in here would take care of a lot of it. And a pole saw, cut some of these low limbs. So I actually do remember there being citrus trees here, and they had oranges, and here's the trees. They're still here. Kind of surprised there aren't any oranges on them right now. Maybe they froze, maybe not. Somebody that camped here probably at one point in time threw an orange seed there on the ground and it decided to grow. Another open spot. This area right here is like one of the most coolest spots. The way all these trees are super mossy. I mean, that's the definition of mossy oak right there. Here's the old bathroom. I'm quite sure that the bathrooms here are probably non-recoverable. Men's side. Locked. Maintenance room of some sort. I see some plumbing back in there. And that's the woman's side. They were actually pretty nice bathrooms. They were the I don't know what you'd call them. They're the porta potty style, that it would go in the ground and into a holding container, and then they would have to come pump it out, if I remember correctly. So it doesn't actually have a drain field or a septic tank.
I'm 41 years old, and I used to come out here when I was a kid and climb all over these trees and have fun.
So while we're talking about years, like I said earlier, it's been closed for approximately 20 years. My buddy Mike and I, we actually grew up in Interlaken and spent a lot of years camping here as youngsters. And when I first wanted to actually get this campground opened, I recall thinking to myself, you know, it sure would be nice for the next generation to come do the same thing that we got to do at this campground. Because I mean, you could go out there and go fishing on the lake, and I was thinking, well, the kids sure would love that. Let's try to get it open. And unfortunately, it's taken a long enough time now to where the kids are grown. They're adults now themselves. So that's actually like a whole generation. Your daughter, how old is she now?
She's 13.
13 years old, never got to camp here. These generations, like an entire generation has missed out with being able to camp at this campground now. And from what I've been told, the only reason why this campground was closed in the first place is because some homeless people were staying here and doing what they do. You know, maybe they were trashing it. I'm not sure, but it's not something that couldn't have been dealt with. I mean, we have a sheriff's department and a police department and, you know, FWC. They could have run them out of here. Why shut the whole campground down? Just doesn't make any sense. It wasn't costing anything at all. The campground was free. It was a primitive campground and it was absolutely free. Now, I understand in this day and age, we can't have a free campground anymore. I mean, it's gonna have to be some certain fee. I would say $10. The state's probably gonna say $20, $25. But whatever it is, it would be worth opening the campground. You could take that money that you're getting from that, fund the campground as far as having electricity here for a pump or whatever you need. I mean, maybe even power at some campsites at one point. I would say probably leave the campground a primitive campground, but who knows, you know, who's going to get on board with this and give it a go. This is inside of that little well shed, and it's getting kind of dark, but there's a pump right there. I imagine it's probably no good anymore, but that's no big deal. There's companies that would be willing to at least have a plaque with their name on it, and they would donate a well. It's easy. So this is where it split. Earlier we walked down that side and around, and now we're coming back, and then you come back up this side here, which would be the south side, which is where the lake's at. And we're just about back to the front gate here at the front dirt pile that's got the campground closed off. This is actually a little spot you could access by water right now. Not sure if you'd get run out. Somebody's recently been here because there's an orange peel. I don't know if you'd get run out if you was trying to camp here by water or not. If you brought your boat around and parked up here. But imagine if you could have your tent set up right here. Your truck parked down in here with your boat or your trailer, and your boat sitting right here. And even, I mean, this is just dreaming, but what if there was a little small dock at each one of these campsites? And you could fish here right at the campsite. I mean, you can fish here, but you'd probably be hung up on some logs or something. But wouldn't it be nice, Mike? I mean, if that was a possibility to have your boat sitting right here.
It'd be nice to have at least one of these, like at the end of the road, have a little dock that goes out where you could park your boat there and walk up and walk in at least, or something. But I mean, there's a lot more uses for this than just sitting here like it is.
20 years growed up, abandoned by the state, not by the locals. We did not abandon this campground. We would still be camping here today if we was allowed in here. It's getting dark. So here's what I need you guys to do. In the next few days, I'm gonna get contact information. I'm gonna get an email address. Wrong direction on the trail. I'm gonna get an email address that would be of importance to the right person. And what I need you guys to do, everyone who's interested in getting this campground back open, I need you to come to our Facebook page here, and I need you to hit that like button and share it. And we're gonna do a email blast. We're gonna send as many emails to the state that we can requesting to have this campground open, and I think they're gonna see it. If we can get 100 people Today I actually spoke with one of our county representatives, and he told me that you need 100 people, and that's how you get the attention of the state. That's a beginning point for us. So let's do this. Let's get this out there, and let's get these emails sent. I will make a post about the email address in the coming days. Maybe in a week. I gotta track them down. I gotta find the right person. So that's gonna take a little bit of work. I actually got a little bit of help this time. The last time that we were trying to get it open, there was very little help, very little people of importance that were on board with it. This time I think we've got at least one, and we're gonna search around. We're gonna try to find some more. So you guys stick with it. Let's get this campground open. You ready, Mike? You ready to get it?
Yep.